Hey guys, Rich here with another Halo 3 action figure review. Today it's going to be the white armor set, which actually isn't a part of any different series, and that was really kind of odd to me. I really thought that the armor packs were part of a series until I looked at the back of the box here, and I can show you a little bit of it. There's nowhere on the box that it actually says it's part of a series. This is the first box I've ever seen like this, where it just shows the armor. It doesn't try to promote any other packaging or anything, other figures or anything like that. But, it's not a big deal. Anyway, with this figure, you get 4 different types of armor and the white body. And you also get numerous weapons, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, for the armor, you get the Hayabusa, which I have placed onto the figure because, personally, I think the Hayabusa looks incredible with the white and red highlights on it. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job with the color scheme. Not so much the paint job of the figure. When you get the figure, you get the Rogue armor, which is the Rogue helmet, using the Mark 6 body because the Rogue doesn't have its own shoulder pads and chest plate. But overall, the paint job on this figure was really poor. And I was able to choose from 4 different packages when I got this at Toys R Us. So I was able to look at a couple and try to figure out, which one I wanted. And all of them had really crappy paint jobs, really. I can show you here on the chest plate for the Rogue. I mean, look at that. It doesn't have like any wash. It's pretty much like they just painted it, and the black is kind of blotchy here. It's not really just where it's supposed to be. It's spilled over. I mean, it doesn't look that good. And that was a really big disappointment because like Series 7 figures look incredible. But for whatever reason, the paint job quality on this figure is really poor. And that really is kind of upsetting because I really was looking forward to this figure. Now, overall, it is still a good figure. I just don't really care for the way that they didn't quite finish it, in my opinion. They didn't give it the due process that it needs for it to be able to turn out being really awesome. But anyway, back to the armors. You get Hayabusa, Rogue, CQB, and then you also get Scout. And the Scout and CQB and Hayabusa all have their shoulder pads and chest plate. The weapons you get a battle rifle, 2 frag grenades, 2 pistols, which for whatever reason, they didn't paint the pistols. They're just silver. I don't know what the heck is up with that. They're not finished at all. And on the back of the box, they used Magnums that were actually painted. But you end up getting these things that are just all silver. It looks really crappy. So, I don't know what the heck is up with this set. The sword, you do get the katana, which was, until recently, only able to be, received through the Halo points, which has been discontinued. Now, you get the sword and the scabbard, or, the sheath, whatever you want to call it. And it does actually have a peg, so you can connect it onto the back of the Spartan. And I gotta say, it looks incredible. I mean, it looks really awesome. And something that I didn't really know if it would be true or not, and I really had to see it for myself, and that is that the sword actually comes out of the sheath. And it is incredible. The sword itself is not made the greatest. The paint job on it is okay, but when you feel it, it doesn't feel smooth at all. It's really got a lot of extra plastic that I'm going to end up shaving off with a hobby knife at one point to, clean it up a bit. And another problem is, it doesn't exactly, sometimes it'll go right into the sheath, and other times, see, I have to kind of force it. You don't want to force it too much because you don't want to mess up the sword, but, it doesn't exactly just slide in and out. It gets snagged. See, but it is still really cool to get this and not have to get it through the Halo points, which I missed. So that's really awesome. Besides that, like I said, with the paint job, there was one problem I saw, and I don't know if other people are going to have this problem. There was 4 packages, like I said, at Toys R Us. 2 of them had a battle rifle, where the battle rifle was actually clipped off, like right about this point right here, and it looked kind of like it had been a little bit melted on 2 of the battle rifles. 2 of them were finished, mine and the other one that I didn't get. So I don't know what is up with that. That is a really bad quality control problem, and I don't know what the deal is with that. Now, as far as problems go, besides the paint job on this figure, the Spartan can hold the sword, which, I mean, if he couldn't hold the sword, that would be ridiculous. So that is really cool, and, I mean, you can get him in all different types of poses and stuff, so I think it's really cool that he can hold the sword. But it's for the other problems, he doesn't hold the battle rifle very well in his right hand by itself. It does good when you use the left hand as support. But most of the other Spartans that get battle rifles as their weapon can actually hold the battle rifle. See, it just falls right out. The problem, I think, is that he has the sniper finger, or the sniper hand, which, like the first time I ever saw the sniper hand was on the Series 3 Master Chief. And basically it's the same hand as most of the other figures, but he has his finger kind of sticking out more instead of being right here with the rest of his hand, like to hold the trigger. And so he doesn't get that extra support that he would normally have if he had the finger further back. So the battle rifle will just kind of fall out. The other problem is the Magnums. You only can hold them. The way that they're made with this handguard right here, that they don't actually fit into their hands. So say you have the Hayabusa here. I'm just trying to get it into his left hand. If you look at his fingers, the fingers will not fit in there, regardless of if I can get the handle in there. They will not fit into there. That will not work. I don't know why they would give these guns to figures that can't hold them. I think that's really stupid. So these guns are practically worthless, and I'm going to have to mod these as well as the sword to be able to fix the problems that McFarlane has. And it's really getting ridiculous at this point that they're not making, with Series 7, they have done such a good job, and then it's like they released the white armor pack at the same time as Series 7, and it's like a huge step back. And I don't understand what the problem is. The paint is lacking, the guns aren't finished, and your figure can't even hold them. Not to mention, this figure, he doesn't even he does have the new cog joints, but he has the feeling of like a Series 6 or earlier figure. He doesn't have the Series 7 feel as far as all the joints moving. Although they do, I don't know what it is. When you hold it and you're moving it around, it doesn't have the Series 7 feeling. The other problem, it's not really a big problem, but I personally find it annoying, is that he does not have a peg hole on his left leg. Some people aren't going to care about that, but I do. When you get two dual-wielding weapons and you can't put them on his legs, I don't know, it's just kind of annoying to me, because at this point, I would think that all the figures would have those two peg holes on the thighs, because that's the way, the newer figures are being made. So I don't know what the problem is with that either. And I would have liked it if McFarlane would have taken the step to make a Magnum that, instead of getting two Magnums that would only go onto the left leg, or the right leg, if they would have made a peg hole in the left leg, that they made a Magnum that could attach, so you could have two of them attached like this, I would think that'd be really awesome, especially for doing like posing and stuff. Excuse me, sorry, my breath. But I would think that'd be really cool for posing and everything. So overall, I would give this figure a 3 out of 5 as far as quality. It is really ridiculous about some of the problems that this thing has, especially if this is going to be your first or maybe only Halo purchase. I don't know, unless you're really, really in love with getting the katana and the Hayabusa and maybe, one of the other armors. I don't know, I can't really strongly suggest getting this pack. Personally, I was going to get it because I wanted the katana really bad to do in a stop motion. I wanted another Hayabusa because I only have one. And another battle rifle would be great because they give you so many other crappy guns like spikers and stuff that Spartans shouldn't even have, really. But regardless, it's not that big of a deal overall, but for me, I think it's really annoying at this point that McFarlane didn't improve on everything being released in March and instead did this, ridiculous thing. But that's where we're at, guys. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing as always. You guys are awesome, and have an awesome day or something. Yeah.